your attention to the middle of the field where we will now retire the jersey. Step back, Mr. Hughes. And another one.
Thanks to everyone for we'll get this going yet. Worked earlier. On behalf of Sardis Secondary and our principal, Dan Eisler, who's a great supporter of athletics, let me say thank you to everyone for being here, including our opponents, first-year team, Sullivan Heights. Give them a hand. If you're sitting in the crowd and you're Sardis Falcon football alumni, can you stand up and wave, please? And also, I think we have Bob DeJulius in the crowd. If he can stand up, he's here. Oh, excellent, Bob. He is the SFU head coach who recruited Rick Klassen. Today's a celebration, and we're here celebrating the return of our football program for three key reasons. Football is back at Sardis Secondary due to the inspiration of our most well-known alumni, Rick Klassen. We welcome his family here today. They're over on my right. Rick's parents here, his sister Kathy, his son Chad, partner Debbie, and a few other from the Klassen clan. If you can give them a hand, please. The second reason that football is back at Sardis Secondary is because of head coach Adam Smith and his committed group of coaches. If we didn't have and lastly, football is back at Sardis Secondary due to another well-known alumnus of our school, George Chaika. He's appointed by the hard-working members of the Sardis Falcon Alumni Committee, and without the fundraising efforts of this group, we wouldn't be here today. There are Walter Peters, Dean Simpson, Kathy Flossen, John Timmis-Jupp, former head coach, started the whole program, Gary Simpson's there, Kim Britton, and Don Yates is on the committee, but not here today. When you walk, give him a hand, please. When you walk into the main hallway of Sardis Secondary, you walk past the Sardis Hall of Fame. The first name on this board when you stand there and look at it is Rick Klassen, number 31. The man we're here by retiring his number. Rick Klassen, elite Sardis secondary multi-sport athlete, TFL All-Star, and Grey Cup champion. But before I introduce George Chaika to speak about Rick, I want to mention what it takes to be inducted into the Sardis Hall of Fame. First, you'd probably represent your high school in athletics. Then, you might represent your university, SFU in varsity football. And we have our officials today wearing SFU football t-shirts as a tribute to Rick. After representing SFU, then maybe you'd be a player agent for your good friend and teammate as he embarks on his CFL career. Then maybe you'd become a player agent for about 40 more CFL players. Then you'd devote the next 2 decades of your life to the front office of the BC Lions. And then you might be inducted into the BC Hall of Fame for outstanding contribution to Canadian football. And most importantly, you'd come back to your high school 40 years later and lead a successful campaign to restart a football program as a tribute to your good friend. So please everyone, as I call on him to retire the jersey of Rick Klassen, welcome the latest inductee into the Sardis Hall of Fame, George Chaika.
Thanks, Brad. Wow, that was unexpected. That's a definite honor, and I'm honored about that. Standing out here, I hate it when I get my hair wet. But it's a special day. Special for the Sardis secondary football team, special for Sardis Secondary School, and for the community of Chilliwack. I think it's fantastic that we've got another football program here at the high school level that's going to mean a lot of competition in the years to come, and I know we're going to be looking forward to seeing a lot of victories here from our Falcons football program. You know, the fellow that we're going to honor today was very proud of his school, of his football program. Anybody who knew Rick growing up knew what an outstanding athlete he was. You know, I can tell he had a that wouldn't stop. He had a compete level that was off the charts, and he worked hard. But more than anything, he had a desire to win, and that winning effort, you know, carried him to so many great things. And I remember it came a point in grade 10 where he had to make a decision. I think he had a rep soccer game in the morning, game here in Chilliwack in the afternoon, and then that night had to travel to North Vancouver for a rep hockey game. And it came time for him to make a decision as to his energy was going to go on sport. And for BC Lion football, that decision was much to the pleasure of our fans. You know, Rick went on to an outstanding career at Simon Fraser University, where he was an NAIA Divisional All-Star. He was in territorial protection of the BC Lions Football Club in 1981. That man, he was the top player in the province. The Lions were claiming him and didn't want any other team to have him, and they knew why. You know, that first year he went to camp as an offensive lineman. He made the switch to defensive line halfway through the season and never looked back. Played 10 years in the Canadian Football League. He had 66 sacks over that career. That puts him in the top all-time in the CFL and in the top 10 for interior linemen. And the thing for anybody who knew Rick, he always played his best games in the biggest game. Played in 2 Grey Cups. 1983 he was voted the most outstanding Canadian in the Grey Cup game. 1985 he had another 2 sacks. He had a total of 5 sacks in 2 Grey Cup games, which still makes him in the top 5 in CFL history. That's pretty good. was at Exhibition Park playing Pee Wee football. And for anybody who played with him, we know the pride that we had. I know the pride he had in the school, and I know how proud the community was of Rick Klassen. So this is a day for Rick, for the program, for the community, and I'm going to hand it back to Brad now for the reason we're here.
Thanks very much, George. What it is for Falcon football tradition. If we can get Kathy Klassen on one side and Coach Timo on the other, we will uncover the Rick's jersey, and from this point on will hang in a place of honor in our school. Up here while the Sardis drum line gets the teams warmed up for the second half. Thanks again.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll turn your attention to the Sardis drum line, center field.